Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the blower wheel on your dryer. And even though it's an easy job, you will need a few tools. We'll start with a Phillips screwdriver, a 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch nut driver, a small flat blade screwdriver. We'll need 2 adjustable wrenches and a large flat blade screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, the first thing we'll need to do is to disconnect the power to the dryer. If it has a cord on it, simply unplug it from the socket. And if it's a hardwired dryer, you'll need to locate the fuse panel and turn the power off at that point. We're next going to have to pull the dryer away from the wall and disconnect the venting, because we will need to access the back of the dryer as well as the front. And our first step in disassembly will be to remove 2 screws that secure the top to the lint filter housing. Set those aside. Now the main top is held to the cabinet with a couple of clips at the front. You can either access them with a putty knife in on either edge, or just pull slightly ahead on that top and lift up on it. And tilt it back and lean it up against the wall, or have somebody support it. Next, we're going to disconnect the wire harness to the door switch assembly. So with a small flat blade screwdriver, go in under the edge of that connector and release the locking tab. Separate the harness. And next we're going to remove the front panel. There are 2 5/16 screws. The back side, we'll remove both of those. Next, we'll tilt the panel forward. You may need to support the drum. And then we're going to lift up on it slightly. And disconnect the 2 hooks from the bottom of the front panel. There are 2 clips at the bottom of the cabinet that fit into some rectangular holes on the bottom of the front panel. So we'll set that aside. Next, we're going to release the belt from the idler. So we'll reach in and release the tension on the idler, and then we'll roll the belt off of the motor pulley. And then we can support the drum with the belt and remove it through the front of the cabinet. And we'll set that aside. And we now have access to the motor, and we're going to put one of our adjustable wrenches on the pulley on one end of the motor. We'll also need to remove the back panel on the dryer so that we can put our other adjustable wrench on the actual blower. So we'll lower the top down, and then we'll access the back of the dryer. We now remove the screws that secure the back panel to it. Now slide the back panel off, and we'll set that aside. Now with the back panel removed, we're next going to remove the air inlet housing to the drum. There's 4 1/4 inch hex head screws that secure that to the blower housing. Now pull that away at the bottom, tilt it out. And remove that assembly. Now with the drum out of the way and the idler assembly removed, we'll take a large flat blade screwdriver. And then we'll get onto the hook on the end of that rear motor mount. It's a spring type clip. It saddles over the motor mounting bracket and then hooks into those 2 little slots. So we can remove that and set that aside. Next we'll take one of our adjustable wrenches. We'll put it on the motor pulley, and we'll turn that pulley so that the wrench actually rests on the base of the dryer. And then with our other adjustable wrench, go right onto the square hub of the blower wheel. And since it's a left-handed thread, we're going to turn it counterclockwise from this direction. And we'll break it free. You need to give that a couple of turns to get it loose. And at that point, we can leave the wrench on the blower wheel. We can remove the one on the motor pulley, and then turn the motor shaft clockwise from the back, and that will unthread it completely from the blower wheel. Now with the back panel removed and the air outlet duct assembly removed, the pulley is loosened from the motor. Simply reach into the opening and pull it out through. And while we have the blower wheel off, we have access to clean that housing area out. So you can vacuum that out or remove any debris that might be in there. And we're next going to take our new blower wheel, line it up with the motor shaft, and as it is a left-hand thread, we will turn it counterclockwise to tighten it onto the motor shaft. Once we've got it started on there, then we can tighten it from the inside. We'll next put our air outlet duct assembly back on, and before we do that, we'll make sure that we vacuum up any excess lint buildup that may be in that housing. Then we'll just lift that air outlet duct assembly into position. We'll replace the 4 screws. Make sure we don't damage the foam seal around the perimeter of that opening. And make sure all 4 screws are tight. Now when reassembling the drum and the belt, we need to make sure that we have that belt in the proper position. So essentially what it's going to do is come through the opening in the idler assembly, and your model may have an idler wheel at this point rather than a glide. But the belt will come through like that, loop around the motor pulley, and then go around the drum. So we need to make sure that that's how the belt is positioned. And just let the idler lay flat on the base of the dryer. Wrap the belt around the drum with the groove side of the belt against the drum. And we'll lift it into the cabinet, set it up on the rear rollers. Make sure that it's firmly on both rollers. Position the belt roughly in the center of the drum. Then we'll reach in underneath. We'll hold that idler assembly into position. Take the belt, pull it over the top of the idler, through that opening. At this point, we'll have to put some tension on that idler spring. Loop the belt around the motor pulley. And then we'll rotate the drum a couple of turns just to make sure that it's in the proper position. And that should also center the belt on the drum. And now we can put the front panel on. So when we reassemble this front panel, we want to make sure that these rectangular openings on the bottom on both sides fit over these clips. And we'll lower them into position. Now at the same time, we'll need to lift the drum so that it will sit on top of that felt. Make sure that both corners have dropped into position. Again, lift the drum up. Make sure that it fits over that felt. And we can rotate the drum a bit just to let it slide on easier. And then we can reinstall those 5/16 hex head screws. And remember to reconnect the door switch harness and make sure that it engages the locking tab. We're now ready to lower the main top where it will hook onto these 2 catches. And you just pull that a little bit forward until it snaps into position. And then remember to put the 2 Phillips screws that hold the lint filter housing to the main top. Now we're ready to reconnect the exhaust vent and reconnect the power, and our repair is complete.
I told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching.
and good luck with your repair.